Let's move over to the Western Conference, where Canada's team, the Edmonton Oilers, exists and playing for that cup, that last shot. Now, the last time we've had a team go this far, I believe, was like a Canadian team, was actually the Winnipeg Jets, and that's probably about
what?
I don't know.
Montreal Canadiens went to the Stanley Cup Final last year.
Oh my God, I'm on the Western side though, buddy.
Oh.
And that would be because they lost out to the Predators that year. But God, you're so confusing, man. All right, so here's a matchup here. Now, this looks like a decisive advantage for the Avalanche, considering how much they've done for goals for, goals against, expected goals, power play, and not PK so much. But what's an interesting thing is against each other, these two teams have kind of been a bit of a wash. Edmonton won the first game. Avalanche won the second game in overtime and then won a shootout. But they were all relatively close games. Mind you, there's lots that goes on. The Oilers and the Avalanche have had the same record since hiring. The Oilers hired their new coach. And at the same time, the Avs had actually lost a lot of players around that period and now have them back. They say the Oilers promoting themselves with essentially the two best offensive players on the planet in McDavid and Draisaitl. Well, the Avalanche consists of potentially one of the best defensemen, a solid goaltending group, and also a heavy amount of forward depth. So this is an interesting matchup, and I think a lot of people, are automatically writing the Oilers off against the Avs because the Avs are a better team. But that same logic should produce that the Florida Panthers should be playing right now against the Rangers, or that Carolina should be playing Florida right now.
Or Calgary should be playing.
Or Calgary should be playing. It's not always the best team that wins.
Nope.
It's the team that wins 4 games. So lots can happen in that period. Let's break down the series. We're going to start with what we think are game breakers or what teams have to do. So we'll go to give it a different perspective. What does Edmonton have to do to win? We're going to go to you, Ryan, for this one. And then for Colorado to win, we're going to go to Adam, just to mix it up.
Well, what does Edmonton have to do? I think basically they have to continue to produce offensively and outscore their defensive issues. This Edmonton team really does remind me a lot of the Oilers of the 80s, like very, very strong offensively. Defensively, maybe not so much. I mean, you saw in that stats like how many goals they've given up in these playoffs, which is a decent amount. And that's despite the fact that Mike Smith is 4th in the playoffs with 8.8 goals saved above expected and has a .927 save percentage. So the fact that they've let up that many goals and yet are getting that kind of goaltending from Mike Smith shows that, they do give up a lot of chances, but their offense is so good, they're able to outscore their problems. So if they can continue to produce offensively in a way that we haven't seen since the 80s, and the fact that Colorado will be without Samuel Girard, and so Jack Johnson will be in their top 4. Mm-hmm. That will be helpful. And Darcy Kemper did not have a great playoffs this past round against St. Louis, and so you look at Kemper and you think, we might be able to put the puck in the net. So Colorado is usually a pretty good defensive team, but without one of their top 4 defensemen and with, a goaltender who might not be playing at his best right now. And the fact that Draisaitl and McDavid are on another level, I think you have to be feeling pretty good that you guys will be able to score.
Adam, what does Colorado have to do to win this series?
Well, we saw in the graphics that Edmonton, I believe, was first in 5-on-5 goals for percentage. Right. And first in power play, or second behind Colorado in power play, if I'm not correct.
You're not correct on that.
What was it? What was it?
Power play. Colorado's first in these playoffs, and Edmonton is
fifth. Okay.
5th. Yeah.
So they need to be, Colorado needs to be better. They need to maintain that pace on the power play, and they need to shut down Edmonton's power play to be able to move past them. Another thing that needs to happen is Kemper has a .904 save percentage this entire playoffs. He needs to be better than Mike Smith, who's a .927 the entire playoffs. So that means, jumping and trying to get pucks when Smith is behind the net. and trying to capitalize on him flailing. It's taking advantage of what I think might be the Oilers D pairing that struggles the most that I've seen throughout this playoffs. When they're on, but when they struggle, they're not good. And it's Keefe and Bouchard. That's what I think. That's what I think that Colorado needs to do in order to beat Edmonton.
All right. What do you think?
One more thing. Kadri needs to play clean. He can't get caught up in other stuff. There can't be stupid penalties taken by Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado's not good on the PK, and obviously Edmonton's dangerous. So Colorado needs to stay out of the penalty box. If this turns into a special teams match, I think the favor swings in favor of Edmonton.
It's interesting though, because when you said that, but power play from the graphic you showed has Colorado higher up, and Edmonton
power play. Their penalty kill isn't good though. Their penalty kill is, and it wasn't during the regular season either. They're not a great PK team, whereas Edmonton, yeah, their power play isn't first, but they're still top 5 in these playoffs, and we're second overall during the regular season. They have a dangerous power play, so you can exchange power play chances.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, the Oilers' power play was pretty cold last series. Like, it really wasn't going to do, like, it didn't really do much. Like, it got a couple goals here. Now, partially that's because of Calgary's PK.
Calgary's a better
very
PK.
Strong PK.
Yeah.
But
Colorado doesn't. So I think Colorado wants to keep this at 5-on-5. If this could turn into a special teams battle, I think that swings in favor of Edmonton.
I just feel, once again, if you're going to say veteran teams, I feel like that leans more itself. Well, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. We have the older team, I think, but I just feel like that is a little bit more of a Avalanche thing. But I really don't have anything to stand on there with that. But it's just how I think.
We'll find out, I guess.
I guess so. For this series to go on, I think it's being really billed as a McKinnon versus McDavid kind of series, and essentially, like, that's kind of a huge component of this, but it's also a weird kind of matchup, because I mean, for the longest time, the conversation was like, is McKinnon the best player on the planet? Well, I don't think anyone thinks that anymore.
That's quieted a bit in the past few years. You don't hear
exactly, and that's become like a big talking part. At least it's a star, because McKinnon has been a star.
Oh yeah,
and he's still a star. Yeah, and McDavid's a star, but they're actually kind of focusing on that battle. And it isn't that I don't think it's really going to be that as much. But the truth is if McKinnon rises and McDavid rises, we can expect ourselves some pretty crazy games, I think. But I actually think it's going to be the stuff beyond them that's really a big deal. Whether it's Makar or Draisaitl or Kane or Rantanen or Landeskog or Nuge, that's where I think this series is going to really sparkle and shine, because those two stars we know are both playoff guys. I mean, McKinnon beat the Flames basically single-handedly one year. He really did.
Mm-hmm.
And so we know he's an elite guy when it comes to into playoff times. But it's the other parts of that team that are really going to start to balance out that stuff, I think. And it will be interesting to watch.
I'm curious how the Oilers' second line will match up against the Kadri line, and if they'll be able to keep up or not. And if not, if we could maybe see Draisaitl move back to centering that second line if his ankle's feeling better.
It will be. Yeah, that's actually the point. He skated today, which is the first time that he's made a practice since the injury, which tells you he's getting better. And if you watch that series, he got better as it went.
Yeah, it was looking better.
Game 1, he was doing turns like this. Game 2, he was going the other way, right?
His passes were off as well. He did not look good.
Exactly.
But he's healing. Yeah, he's starting to. And the fact he put up that many points on a bum ankle, like, holy crap, eh?
Yeah,
happens when you have a good shot, and an elite passer and McDavid on your playing center for you.
Well, and somebody else made the comment, they are in sync. You can have two superstars, but they don't work together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they're separate lines, but they're in sync.
Yeah.
Like, McDavid knows where Draisaitl is. Draisaitl knows where McDavid is. They pair out that way.
Well, they've played together so much in the past. Like, they used to predominantly play on the same line until finally they were able to be separated. So they've played with each other long enough to develop some good chemistry.
But therein lies the other problem. Right now they're playing together, and they are playing at an elite level. Break that up.
I wouldn't yet. I would only if the Kadri line becomes a problem.
Well, therein lies the other part there. That third line Is Kadri third or second line right now?
Second line.
Third. Is he second line?
Yeah.
Yeah. That line has been pretty good, and he was dominant against the Blues. He also got under the Blues skin. Amazingly so. And I don't know if
that was a nasty series. That was a really nasty series.
Did a flying
elbow
at his head,
God. After a goal.
After a goal. Yeah. Like he went for it. And that is like a little bit weird. We didn't talk about those other two series. Well, we talked about the Calgary one. We didn't talk about the Blues Colorado one, but man, was it hateful.
Nasty playoff series.
If honestly, God, if he'd hit him, if he had been dumb enough to actually hit Kadri, yeah, he would have been out for the playoffs. Like not Kadri.
Honestly, they were doing stuff to Kadri where I was like, how is none of this suspendable? Like, I honestly don't know what Peros has against Kadri, but like Kadri sneezes on someone, he gets suspended. But they were doing everything and anything to him out there and nothing.
He just has the rep. He just has the rep, and that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Once you have it, it takes a long time to wash it off.
To get back in good graces.
And it's not necessarily fair to him. He's been really good. He's had an outstanding season this year. He's been amazing. But yeah, he's not going to have much of a leash on things like that, I don't think. But still, man, like he got under those Blues fan skin. And like whatever. Like I do also wonder if that series would have been different if Binnington had stayed. If Binnington had not been injured.
Yep.
There is a good chance that this team
St. Louis
might have gone further. They were playing well with him.
And Kemper did, like I said, just did not play well that series. Like really the lack of goaltending from Kemper gave St. Louis a chance because he did not look good.
This will be a very different series too, because it's like the Oilers aren't, like you said, they're an offensive team. They're running gun. They do not play this type of game the Blues do, which is a much more stagnant hockey, defensive style hockey with offensive flair. But I wonder what we're going to see here. Like, honestly, if these games were low scoring,
I'd be shocked.
Last series, but I could also see it.
Could you?
I really can, because I mean, they were all regular season. There were 3-2 games, right? So if goaltending peaks up, that could be it. And if Mike Smith just does one bone, he's got to do one boner goal per series. Like that's his role. So if he either tosses up the middle, has a dumping go on him, has it go into his pants and then skates backwards again and drops it in there, then that's par for the course. It's like, all right, we're good now. He got it out. That's what I'll say. Like finally, he got it out early. We're good to go here. So we'll see what happens. What are your predictions for the series?
Well,
Adam.
I'm going to do two predictions like I did last time. My gut says 4. For Edmonton. Yeah. But I'm going to say Avs. No, I'm going to say Edmonton in 6.
Dude, go with your gut because last time your gut was right.
Okay, I'll say Edmonton in 4.
There you go. Have some confidence in your team, man. Like shit.
You know, idea.
For me, I think honestly, I think Colorado's the better team. Just their defense, I think, is on another level than Edmonton's. But I don't know. There's just something magic right now about the Oilers. Like, you saw it last year with Montreal, and you've seen it from some of these other Cinderella teams where like there's these teams that just get hot at the right time and just ride this momentum all the way to the Stanley Cup Final. And like, I mean, usually their Cinderella turns back into a pumpkin and the better team wins, but we're not there yet. And I think this Oilers team still has some magic in them. So I'm going to go Oilers in 7.
And I'm going to go Oilers in 6.
I'm
like you, Ryan. I feel like they're the underdog. they like the pressure's on Colorado more than them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they are hot right now. And I don't feel people have played against them while they're this hot.
No.
And I think that's it. That's a change.
Like I keep saying Super Saiyan, but like honestly, the stuff that we're seeing from McDavid and Draisaitl now is just otherworldly. It'll be interesting to see if Colorado can handle it, because I don't think anyone is able to prepare for something like that. The amount of points that they're putting up is just ridiculous.
And I do think the break helps Edmonton a little bit here because you've been playing McDavid a lot. You can rest him for a bit, and now you can double ride him again.
And that St. Louis, Colorado series was punishing.
Yeah.
And so not that, the series against Calgary was a cakewalk or anything like that in terms of physicality, but that Blues Colorado series was nasty. And so I think that might have taken a bit of a toll on Colorado players as well.
I hope so. Really, I wanted that series to go to 7 so that they would like just pummel each other and come out wretched. And that would
just limp into the next round, right?
Exactly.